Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the stage, Matt, RJ, and Jonathan of the Helping Friendly Pod.
How's it going, people?
Hey, everybody.
Hi there.
All right. Thank you all for coming. What?
You really got to talk to the microphone.
You got a what?
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Monitors.
I know you guys are all here for Screens and Suds, which is awesome. And there's a lot of really cool art and posters and pins and all kinds of really cool shit. But thank you for pretending that you came for us because it makes us feel really good. I'm RJ. This is Jonathan. That's Matt.
Hello.
We are from the Helping Friendly Podcast, which if you haven't heard is a podcast where we talk about fish a lot. If you like fish and you like hearing dudes talk about fish, then you're in the right place, and you should maybe check out our podcast. Great commentary. We are recording this for our couch report, which we've been doing through Osiris. So, hello everyone watching at home. This couch report is done in partnership with Relix magazine, and we will be doing this throughout the fall tour. So, if you guys are not going to be at the Nashville, Chicago, or Vegas shows, you can watch the couch tour on Relix, YouTube, Facebook, etc. So,
Just a second.
yeah.
And hey, Jeremy, if we could get a little bit more of ourselves in the wedges, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to have a couple guests up here. We're saving this microphone for Brad. Those of you who listen to the podcast may know that we leave a little space for Brad because we never really know when he's going to show up. But Matt, where is Brad today?
He texted me right before we came on. He came down with a case of monkeypox, so he's not able to join us today.
Classic. Down with disease.
That'll really slow you down.
Yeah, that'll slow you down. So thanks to Relix for doing this. Thanks to Jonathan Healy, our producer, who helps make this happen, and to our friend Scott Reese, who is manning multiple cameras out there. If you've never met Scott Reese, he's an incredible, incredible guy.
Also, thanks to the Vanguard.
Yes.
This is a wonderful room. I hope you guys are having really good beers. I already had one, and I'll have some more. And so thanks.
Thanks for stealing my thunder.
You're welcome.
Anyway, tip your bartenders and thank everyone who works here. That's sort of a basic thing, but I want to make sure we mention it. So, there was a Fish concert last night at Hampton Coliseum. Was anyone there?
Did you guys go?
I'm sorry to the people watching at home because you probably weren't there, and I'm sorry, but for the people here, that was pretty incredible. I don't actually have words about it. Matt, do you have words?
I found a couple words. It was kind of difficult to put them together. I don't know if anybody else went to Jupiter last night during the second set. I was there. It was pretty awesome. There was lots of alien life forms all around us. Crazy feedback space. But I don't know. What do you guys think of the show?
Damn. Basically, the first set was this rock show, right? Trey was pretty much on fire. Even Blaze On, which can sometimes kind of plod on every now and then. I mean, it wrapped with a huge finish. Divided Sky was pretty well played, and I just thought it was a really good time. And the second set was just outer space, just like you said, Jupiter. I felt it was more like I don't know, Venus or somewhere. I don't know. I was stuck in some gravity well somewhere.
Yeah, so I'll throw one thing out there. They did that shipwreck thing during Golden Age. I feel like
right?
shipwreck. They didn't call it a shipwreck on the set list or on the recording or anything like that. But it's almost like that's become like Catapult, where they can drop those samples into any jam and it kind of becomes shipwreck. I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
Yeah, and the impact of Chilling Thrilling is interesting, and we're going to talk about Halloween a little bit later and talk about what we think they're going to play. And also we're going to announce the winners of our Halloween video and photo contest. But that's like an enduring thing that they just can drop in anywhere. I mean, the birds in Birds of a Feather and all that,
exactly.
Right? I was talking to someone before and saying, like, the second set was like very psychedelic. That seems to be the only word I can use to describe it, but which sounds weird because Phish is a psychedelic band, but it was very out there, super spacey, very dark.
But sometimes they're not very psychedelic, I mean, honestly. But this was that.
Yeah.
And this was really a lot of that. So if that's your kind of Phish, it's my kind of Phish.
And Golden Age was 23 minutes or something. It didn't feel like it, but I guess a lot of that was a lot of that ambient feedback, psychedelic stuff toward the end.
Yeah, the shipwreck segment. I was going to say it felt like a lot longer than 23 minutes from where I was standing. That whole second set beginning piece with all the space out of sand and Golden Age and the twist that came out of it, that was pretty amazing. I'll tell you what I'm loving so far in the shows. How about the harmonies and the singing? I don't know if these guys were taking lessons in the last couple of weeks, or maybe we're looking at something about the Halloween album. You're covering a band that's got some tight harmonies. But man, really enthusiastic and confident harmony singing from all members of the band. And then Trey's guitar, man, just ripping, none of the Leslie loop delay stuff to create the space, just balls out rock and roll or feedback. The space stuff came from the feedback that he was creating, which is really amazing. So I'm excited about tonight.
Do you think those harmonies, maybe they're going to do like Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, or do you think not?
Could be something like that. My good friend
it's
Uncle
not.
Dan last night said to me, how about Van Halen? Maybe some Van
Wow.
Halen with some tight harmonies?
That was amazing. That's an amazing thought. I mean,
People don't really think of Van Halen for harmonies, but it's true.
anyone here is probably, all anyone is thinking about is what can we glean from what we've heard so far about Halloween, right? We have no idea. No one here has any idea. We're probably all going to be wrong. But between the vocal harmonies, because even in Trey singing Golden Age, it was just like recommitting to vocals. And on our quick hit, Jesse Lauder said the same thing. Like the vocals are amazing. So between the vocals and the psychedelic space, does that tell us anything about Halloween, or should we just not bother?
No. I mean, really, it could be anything, right?
There's not that many bands that do vocals, though, It really narrows it down.
Just about every rock record. Sorry, he was joking.
Matt, are you a we don't know anything?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the two clues that we have are the wall of noise that maybe points towards something like Loveless, or the harmonies that maybe that's like a CSNY or the band or something old school where they need to bring the vocals together. But I don't know. I'm still scratching my head at this point.
Yeah, same. So people who are here may or may not have been at the Phish concert last night at Hampton Coliseum, but Jonathan is going to tell us a little bit about the history of Phish at Hampton, because it's an interesting history. My friend Craig told me that they barely hit above the Mendoza line at Hampton, which I should have, before I said that, figured out what that means. But Jonathan, do you think that it's been a checkered history at Hampton?
Well, just like anywhere, if you look too closely at it, you'll see the ups and downs and whatnot, right? So
That's how I feel about this podcast.
So I have notes so I can get the dates right. But let's see, it's been 5 years since they played in Hampton. We're going to work our way back. So some of you guys were here in 2013 for Hampton Phish. Anybody there? Yeah. Oh, let's hear it. Come on.
Yeah, who was here in 2013?
All right.
3 awesome nights.
It's like 5 guys. No, I was kidding. All right. So I was here. Those were rad. Yeah.
We see you.
And it was my first time back after a couple years off, and those are pretty great shows. I mean, Tweezer Golden Age and Piper Taking Care of Business. Anything you want to know?
Oh, that second set, the third night. And who can forget the first night, the amazing Carini, which we got an awesome Friday night Carini last night as well. Little throwback.
Yep. And then then it was 4 years when they played in 2009. Of course, it was the March shows. It was the return, the dawn of 3.0. And those were, I think everything was a highlight that night because they hadn't played anything for so long, right? Any of you guys here for that? It was, yeah, okay, a couple hands. I was there. It was pretty, you were there. You were there.
Fluff head.
It's weird. A lot of these people have seen Phish in concert a lot.
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
Strange.
But of course, so what's the Fluffhead? Fluffhead. So
Fluffhead.
Yeah.
Fluffhead.
And so it had been 5 years since they had played anywhere, and of course it was 5 years since they played Hampton, because they played the 2004 show in August, right before Coventry. And
we don't have to mention.
Yeah, we
that
don't have
one.
to talk about that.
I don't really love that show.
It's
but
kind of a train wreck.
no, it's worth noting. There's actually a pretty jammed out chalk dust and a gin.
This is what happens. I say something like it was a train wreck, and then Jonathan tells me the one good part of the concert.
As a matter of fact, RJ, you're wrong.
If you left at set break of that show, you probably had a good time.
Yeah,
That's actually pretty accurate.
I wish I could have left Coventry at set break.
It was a heavy night. So the funny thing is that the previous time. Okay, here we go.
2003.
Yeah, 2003 was in January, and that was the beginning of 2.0. So
right.
they're kind of, bookending 2.0 and 3. At that venue,
Yeah.
and both times they did a big chalk dust and bathtub gin,
Right.
which I think are, other than the excitement of the return, those were the big highlights there. Did you hate those two?
You can move on.
Okay, well, we will move on because then they played 1999. They played right before Big Cypress, and I was at those shows.
I was not at those shows.
He wasn't at those shows. Did you go to that?
Nope.
Nope. They're not.
Did anyone here
well-loved.
go to the
Anybody this big-
1999 Fish show at Hampton Coliseum?
Is anybody that old?
Hey,
That guy did.
He
was with me.
one person
That
there.
guy, hey, it's
Couple
Monty.
people.
He
Yeah.
was there.
Old guys
Probably
in the house.
with you.
Great
Yeah.
2001. Do you feel like we do teases?
What's that?
Great 2001. Do you feel like we do teases?
Yeah, there was that. There was a good MoMA dance, went into a jam. That was a pretty big highlight for me on that one. It's not the strongest shows of the tour, admittedly, right? Right? We can all move on.
I feel like
from
my
there.
job is just to tell Jonathan that I don't like fish for some reason.
It's a good thing you have a fish podcast.
Yeah.
So then the year before, they played in 1998. You guys may have heard of it. They did some sort of record album
Yep.
thing.
Who
No?
is at Hampton 98 who's here today?
Anybody? Yeah, there you go.
Marty, I know that you were at that show. Damn it.
Yeah, Monty was at that show. We just did an episode on
But
this.
for real, I only saw 3 hands. Is that true? No one else around here was at Hampton 98?
Bunch of
Oh, his
nudes.
buddy was.
His friend. He
His
can't hear
friend.
us.
He wasn't.
He
but
was
his
there.
friend.
All right.
She was there.
So,
all right.
Jonathan's friend and this guy's friend were there, so that's cool. Those were great shows. Actually, the music was not like
No, don't.
outrageous.
Don't go there.
But I will say that we just did an episode on HF Pod where we talked about Hampton 98 with Carl Gerhardt and Tom Marshall and Adam from Jazz's Fish, and they're recreating Hampton Comes Alive November 17th, I think, the Friday and Saturday. They're recreating those 2 nights at a club called Drum in New York. So if anyone's going to be in New York City in the middle of November, Jazz's Fish with Tom and Carl and others are going to be recreating Hampton Comes Alive. And maybe they'll jam more than Fish did.
It should be fun. Adam says he's going to rap,
He's going to rap.
so that'll be nice. Somebody has to. So then the year before, they played a couple shows. Hampton 97. Anybody go to that? Anybody care about that? You guys don't. I don't think anything really happened there.
Killer
Nope.
shows.
It's crazy though. Those were like the sort of toward the beginning of the tour, and it was just incredible jamming, incredible funk,
Yeah,
incredible
I mean,
space.
they could have chosen a better Rolling Stones song.
I think 97 was when like the idea of the like mothership blast off for Fish really happened, right?
Yeah, I named my daughter after that Haley's Jam from Hampton 97. Killer stuff.
There are multiple levels of Fish fandom, and almost the top tier is when you name your child after not just a song, but a particular version
That
of a
particular
song.
version.
Right. I mean, I have a Piper, but it's a lot more general. I also have an Althea who's here somewhere tonight. So everybody say hi. There she is.
Althea! Hey!
So,
Can everyone give Althea a hand for showing up to her dad's podcast event, which is so lame and awesome. Like, it's lame for us, but it's also awesome for us that you're here. Thank you.
it's nice that she's
Yeah.
old enough to drive herself and buy her own beer, too. So in '96 they played there. They played a one-nighter. I didn't go. He went. I didn't go because I was having Althea.
She
They
was
went.
there.
You guys, any of you guys went?
I
She's
see a
been
pattern.
all of them. That's awesome.
I see a pattern. She goes to Hampton shows.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's-
else here does. She was there.
It's a solid pattern. I don't really have any highlights, but it's a very 1996 show. Like,
Fall
it's-
'96 was a little like touch and go until Halloween, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of Halloween, never mind. Keep going.
And then the year before was the first Fish Hampton show, 1995. They played Poor Heart like 20 times. The first
Do you like Fall 95?
What's that?
Do you like Fall 95?
I do like Fall 95.
Everyone here is too young to remember Fall 95.
Yeah,
Can
no,
you tell
you guys
people
are
what
all
it was
young,
like?
young
Did they
fresh
have,
faces.
Did they have plugged-in instruments, or was it more acoustic back then?
No, they had actually had a guy riding a bicycle to generate the electricity from coconuts.
Thank you for allowing
Oh, wait.
our jokes about how Jonathan is old, even though he's like
That's
5
a
years
different
older
show.
than me.
But it was great. I mean, his first rotation jam.
Yeah.
It was an awesome show and an awesome tour.
Yep.
And of course, for those of us who were going to shows then, we were pretty excited because the Dead had kind of owned Hampton for years. They, of course, had the Warlock shows in '89. They played in '92. I saw. Anybody here see the Dead at Hampton? I mean, anybody that old? Yeah, I know you
Scott,
did.
yeah.
The Warlocks.
Of course.
All right.
Thank you, Scott.
Seven
Seven
times.
times.
Good man. And then
Get this
Jerry
man a drink.
Jerry Band played there a few times, and so it was a wonderful, magical place, and it was nice to get Fish there, and it continues to be nice to get Fish at Hampton.
It's so good. This is one of my favorite venues to see Fish. Hey, Alex.
Absolutely.
I was reminded last night, I've talked about this on the podcast before, but the second I walked in last night, those old arenas that are no frills, and it's just a bunch of concrete and seats, and it just feels like it's made for rock and roll,
Yep.
right? And it gets loud. It was so loud last night. The crowd was just huge.
It's so good.
This is the type of place. I love the Garden. The Garden's always going to be amazing, but you take out all those nice suites and everything that they put in, and you got yourselves an awesome Hampton Coliseum.
The suites are pretty nice.
40 years of sweat really it ages the concrete just so, you know.
So, Hampton, I mean, also, like, you'll see, again, everyone should look at the posters and the art that are around this room, but you'll see so many artistic takes on the room itself, or the outside, I guess, of the Hampton Coliseum, because it's such a unique building, and it's really cool to see it represented in so many different ways around here. The people at home, you can find these artists through screens and such. So, we're going to bring up a guest in a second. I just want to make a note about last night, the Shipwreck Golden Age. I haven't heard Scott Marks' official take on that for Fishnet. So, Matt, if you weigh in that it's Shipwreck.
I call that Shipwreck, because every time since Halloween that they've done it, it's been in the middle of another soundscape like that, right? So I feel like I said, like Catapult, it's like something that can go in wherever over what they happen to be doing.
We have a so-so sign out there. Who thinks it was Shipwreck? Show of hands. Was that? Should the set list reflect Shipwreck? Raise your hands if yes.
No, I see a lot of head shaking.
I
actually.
see one.
We don't.
The Shipwreck in Golden Age, was it actually, this is the point in the show where we're talking about Fish in so much detail that 60% of the people eating food over there are just, they're so confused. So was it a Shipwreck, or was it just a tease? If you think that it was a Shipwreck tease, raise your hand. All right.
That's a lot
good
of
enough
hands.
for me.
That's a lot of hands. All right. So thank you for that history of Hampton. I mean, Fish at Hampton.
You're welcome.
It would have been more impressive if you had done a full history of the city of Hampton, but
Well,
for a
back
different
in
podcast.
17.
All right, we're going to bring up a guest on that note. We're going to bring up Malcolm Howard, who is hey Greg, who's a founding member of the group called Fans for Racial Equity. I don't know if people have heard about that, but we want to have Malcolm come up and talk a little bit to us. Hey, Malcolm.
Hey, how are you, RJ?
And
Hi, guys.
apologies, but Jeremy, if we could just get a little bit more in the wedges, we'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
Malcolm,
Go ahead.
well, I just want to say first, my interpretation of Fans for Racial Equity is that you guys and girls, obviously, are trying to make the Fish scene a little bit more inclusive, a little bit more respectful, a little bit more aware maybe of different dynamics that may be going on. Can you talk a little bit about where it came from and how you got involved?
So the actual founder of Free was at Magna Ball, and from looking around this room, most of the people in this room will appreciate this. He looked around and he said, wow, that's a lot of white people around here, including me. So he wrote an article, and some of you might have even yelled at him for writing the article. But what we found out is that we all need to be a little better to each other. And so our group really perpetuates the golden rule. If you'd want it done to you, do it to somebody else. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it.
Be a little closer to the microphone.
Oh, a little closer? Yeah. Sorry, guys, you can't hear me. Is that better?
That's better.
All right. So if everybody could just take one day, and when you go to a show, just be aware of what's around you and be nice, life will get a lot better. And that goes not only for the black guy like me in overalls that you see and you want to go and say, oh, that's cute, but it goes to just how you live your lives. Because if we all leave here living the way we came here, the world gets a lot better, a lot faster. You don't have to fight with everybody all the time. So, if that helps.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you for the intro. So, obviously there was an incident at the Gorge this past summer, but that's not why Fans for Racial Equity started. It just was like a moment for you guys to rally some people, right?
Well, what I would say is I think the whole community kind of rallied around the situation of, we may not know what happened, but we know the end result. 2 people of color were attacked. They spent time in the hospital, and we all had to raise money to take care of them, which, thank you guys.
Yeah, it worked.
So what's really important about that lesson that we learned? We weren't looking out for each other. Everybody's got to pay attention. You can't just assume everybody looks like you. Some people need help that don't look like you. So that's all I'm saying. Be good to one another.
Well, Malcolm, I want to hear a little bit about your Phish history and talk a little bit about Phish, because you've seen every show of this tour. There were only 3 shows, but that's still pretty cool.
Well, all right, so I'm just going to say this. I do more shows than I probably should each year.
If you do more shows than you should, raise your hand. Okay, that's our most unanimous response so far.
For the last few years, I've been trying to average about 20 to 22 shows a year. But what I would really like to say is, last night, how can you slip on, if you get a first set Blaze On, it's usually a rockin' set. Yep. First set Blaze On. Yep. Oh no, we're gonna get a meat?
Right, yeah.
Are you guys out of your minds? A meat? Oh, and the well-placed Undermined?
Yeah.
What? You guys gotta...
With a little extra mustard on that Undermined,
too. A little mustard on that. And then RJ took a picture last night of some apparition. I just saw a picture, and there was literally either a dead man, a mannequin, or a ghost watching the show with RJ. So he's way into the show. That's all I could say, because he didn't even notice it. So I just wanted to let everybody know that.
It was a crazy show. So, Malcolm, at least in like mainstream media and in like the popular conception of Phish and the Grateful Dead and whatever, we're like nice hippies. Everyone cares about each other, and we just like do drugs and wear tie-dyes. So A, is that true? And B, like why this issue now as opposed to like 20 years ago when maybe like the same things were happening and we just weren't paying attention?
That is a great question. And what I would say is that mostly everybody's what you described.
Yeah.
But among us, I mean, we mirror society. We have the same problem society has. So if we're willing to address it out in society, then we should be able to address it in our community. And if it's uncomfortable here, then we're never going to fix it in society. So this is the place to fix it. So get with it.
That's a good way to put it. Do you have any questions for Malcolm?
I think you're covering it pretty well. I like the work, so it's exciting.
So Malcolm, let's talk a little bit more about Phish. So you saw a bunch of summer shows, you saw the last 3 fall shows. Where do you feel like 2018 has gone or is going in terms of the band?
Well, we had this discussion earlier, so it's kind of not fair, but I would like to see a whole Prince album on Halloween. Because that would be the jam of all jams.
Yeah. Now, which one? I mean, you're gonna go there. Let's commit.
Oh, I got you. 1999.
Okay, there you go.
All right. So, okay, we're gonna do another show of hands, and I apologize to people watching at home, but we'll let you know what happens. All right. I'm gonna say 1999 and Purple Rain. Are there any others we should throw in terms of Prince albums you'd like to hear?
I think those are the top contenders, right?
Well, you could do the one with Raspberry Beret. What's that? Paisley something.
Oh, come on, Sign of the Times.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I like them all.
Let's
so
do
far.
two for simplicity's sake. All right, let's just say that Fish is covering Prince on Halloween. Raise your hands if you want the album 1999.
Make noise. Make noise. Let's hear your
noise.
noise.
Come on, 1999.
All right.
I just blew his ear out.
All right, second choice. Raise your hand if you would rather see Purple Rain.
Purple Rain? Anybody? Come on. You already know what
That's
one
like
song
4
sounds
people.
like.
Come on.
Yeah,
I see you
that
up
guy's
there.
in.
Thank you.
We got some hipsters in here who want to see the Contrarian
Seth, I
album.
didn't see your hand. Purple Rain? Okay, Purple Rain. All right, we got 3 more votes for Purple Rain. So,
Sign of the Times?
what do you think about the... So what do you think about Fish where they are now, where they've... I mean, last year was so crazy because of the Baker's Dozen and everything. Do you feel like this is like a step down from 2017? Do you feel like we don't know yet? I'm just curious about your take on that.
Let's just be honest. There's not steps down. There's steps over. There's steps around, but there's no steps down. This is the small venues like this. I mean, Albany, Hampton, Nashville, the old Rosemont Horizon.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
those places have bones.
Yeah.
Those have been around. I mean, I saw the Dead in St. Patrick's Day in '94 at the Rosemont. That thing blew up.
Did you see the Dead on Rosemont '94?
No, I did not see the Dead at Rosemont. But right on.
I'm an old man.
Multi-night runs at a bunch of venues is pretty cool. Like, doing the multi-night run thing is pretty sweet. So, my last question, well, we've sort of talked about this, about Purple Rain, or about Prince and Halloween, but it's crazy. I've seen some conversation about this online, but not a lot. The Fish has never covered a non-white artist, group, band, whatever. Like, I guess first, do you think that they're like aware of that? Because I know that you guys, through Fans for Racial Equity, have been in contact with the band and trying to get them involved. Like, do you think they're aware of that, and do you think that they might change that up this year?
Well, so let's be in all fairness, because we're talking about Halloween. Halloween is a party, and if you're throwing a party, you're orchestrating it to your party. So we got to give them a small pass on that, right? That being said, I think it's time to drop some funk. I mean, they could even do a Parliament blowout. I mean, Mike Gordon tickling the bass like he is right now.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so can we get some votes for P-Funk record? Anybody? P-Funk? No? Quiet? I see
Maybe
a couple of hands.
One Nation Under a Groove, maybe?
Marty says yes.
What else is on your mind for Halloween? Anything?
I would actually like a chill holiday run, Halloween run, with maybe, some going back to a couple like ballads. I know a lot of people don't want to hear a Prince Caspian now and then, but I'm due for one. Yeah. So I'd like to hear something like that, a nice good one.
Do you have a gut feeling about Halloween cover album, or not really?
I do not. I've played this game too many times and lost.
No one knows. No one has any idea. All right. Any other questions for Malcolm from you guys?
No. Can you still have fun, Malcolm?
What's that?
Can you still have fun?
Yes, Wilson. I can still have fun.
All right. Thanks, Malcolm. Thank you for coming up and joining us.
Thank you.
That was really cool. And I didn't mention this, but the Fans for Racial Equity, they have a Facebook group and a website. And if you put it into the internet, you will find it. So, what? There's a table tonight in the venue, outside of the room, but in the venue.
It's a small venue. Just walk around the whole thing like everybody does.
Kate, who's up there in the gray
it.
shirt, will tell you more about it if you want to learn more. So we're going to do a quick sort of rundown. We did this Halloween contest. I don't know if anyone saw this, but through Osiris, we did a sort of creative interpretation of the Halloween album that you would like to hear. And Jonathan and Matt both created submissions, as I did as well, but just to like get it going, not because we were actually contestants. But what was yours, Jonathan?
Well, mine, I've been lobbying for them to do this album since they began, since 1994 or 95, when we learned they were going to do it again. And so I've been kind of asking, hoping for Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which I know it's a double record. Really, the first 2 sides are all they really have to do, because Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding would be the most amazing thing. Huge Page solo to kick it off, and then a just straight balls out rocker, and it would just be so freaking good. That was my pick.
Matt, what was your pick?
So my pick is and always will be The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I see one fan down there. I want more people to understand and appreciate the influence of early Genesis on Trey in particular. We heard it straight from Tom Marshall one night. He told us all about it, about how Genesis and Yes, back in the day, that was the key. So The Lamb.
I think a lot of people think that Genesis is not good, Matt. I've heard this on the internet, so it's true. Tell us why that would be a good album. The guy next to the guy who said it would be a great pick said it would be a terrible pick. Matt, why would it be a good album for them to cover?
Because it's got these long instrumental passages with amazing synthesizer solos and amazing drum parts and dense guitar scapes. If you've only ever heard the Phil Collins 80s stuff, go back, listen to The Lamb Dies Down on Broadway, listen to Selling England by the Pound, listen to Foxtrot, and you'll hear it. It's all there, the blueprint for Fish's music.
Land of Confusion is pretty dope, though.
I mean, it's a banger, but you know.
I like that Invisible Touch record a lot.
So the technical terms we've used today are banger and extra mustard, which are both technical music terms, right?
Yeah, I learned them in high school. Yeah.
So
Hot.
Genesis is sort of like I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight, right? That's kind of the main vibe.
No, that's Phil Collins solo.
Oh
Shit.
Lord.
Shit.
Sorry.
Anyway,
we're gonna have to get back to school on this.
What
was your pick, RJ?
Some people want to hear Genesis. My pick is very unoriginal, but it's been my pick since the beginning. Is Led Zeppelin, "Houses of the Holy," because, like, why not, man? Why not?
That's the best reason ever. Why not?
No, but for real. So Trey on acoustic for "Over the Hills and Far Away."
Yeah.
And some other stuff. And Fishman singing, maybe Dire Maker, I don't know.
The crunch. Fishman gets the crunch.
The crunch.
Has anyone seen The Bridge?
Yeah, right. It's just such a great album, and I feel like Led Zeppelin got sort of left out of the original Beatles Who arrangement. And then the Stones finally got thrown in there. In my opinion, it's like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin are like the foundations of rock music. I mean, we're not going to go back to the 1700s.
No,
but
I mean, we obviously need to play Oxa Moxa or like some Buddy Holly then, right?
He does a Grateful Dead podcast.
I do. It's called Broke Down Podcast. Everybody, check it out. I'll give you stickers later. Thanks for the plug.
If you like nerdy people talking about the Grateful Dead, you'll love his podcast. If you like nerdy people talking about fish, you're in the right place. But also, Osiris has almost 30 podcasts of nerdy people talking about things. So... So we're going to announce right now, this is going to be a little bit different for people in the room, but for the people at home, hopefully you'll be able to see this. We did a contest where we asked people to submit a video, an interesting photo, a collage, whatever, about the album they thought Fish would cover, or that they wanted Fish to cover. So we submitted our responses.
These are not their predictions.
No.
It's their wishes.
It's an emotional contest. So anyway, we have our top 3 winners. We went to a panel of judges. We got a ton of awesome contributions, people making really creative videos, really cool photos. It was really an interesting contest that we'll do again in the future. So I'm going to talk about the top 3, and the people who are watching at home can see these. The people who are here cannot see them, but I will show them to you because I have them on my laptop. I love your sweatshirt, man.
Just look over RJ's shoulder. He'll show you the videos.
So the third place winner, the second and third place winners are going to get some Osiris swag, like koozies and T-shirts and shit, and cool stuff. I mean, I'm sorry for the little ones in the room.
Yeah, dude, this is going to go on the internet during like family hour.
Jonathan's daughter's here, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't. She's never heard that word before.
She actually left.
No, she's probably getting a beer.
So we had three winners. Second and third place are getting a bunch of Osiris swag, maybe some Relix swag, and they're going to hopefully come hang out with us on November 1st in Vegas. At least hang out with Matt and I, because Jonathan will not be there.
I won't be there.
So the third place winner, and I will show you these on my phone or laptop if you guys want to see them, because they're awesome. The third place winner is from a guy named Brandon Vasquez, who he put this on Twitter and Facebook, I think, and he did a video about He's from Minneapolis. He lives there, and he did a video about Prince, Purple Rain, and it was really, really well done and very well thought through. It was really good.
He actually filmed himself on the waters of Lake Minnetonka, so it was legit.
With a donut scarf.
And the guy, talks about how he works at First Avenue where they filmed stuff from the movie, and it's pretty cool. It's a good video.
So that's our third place winner. Can we have a hand for Brandon? Even though you guys haven't seen it, I promise it's good.
Just trust us, it's worth your applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the second place winner was someone that I thought was definitely the most funny of anything we got, which was Alexander Grosby doing Weezer's Pinkerton. And you guys both saw the video.
Oh, man.
Hilarious.
He has a tray wig, or I mean a wig.
I'm not sure I'd call it a tray wig, but
an orange wig. It's maybe something like Gritty would wear, and then he had a cutout of a Languedoc guitar, and he's just up there getting it on, man, grooving, playing a guitar solo. It's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you for getting a Philly thing in there. Was that what you said, Gritty, right?
Of course, Gritty's my homeboy.
Matt's from Philly. People who are from Philly love
Philly's
being from
in the
Philly.
house,
Look
right?
at that.
I know
People
Philly's
are
in the
pumping their
house.
fists out here.
That's right.
That's more enthusiasm than we've had the entire time. Thank you.
Damn straight it is.
Philly. Okay. The first place winner, and please come watch this video after, and we're going to show you now on people watching. This woman named Megan Harvey made a video. I don't know if her kids were willing participants or reluctant participants, but her two kids made a video of themselves playing. One is playing the piano, one is playing a drum inconsistently, and they go through almost all of the song 1999, and the album is Prince 1999, and it's awesome because they're in sync, but they're also little kids, but it's good.
It's so cute, and it's amazing, and he's got the chords right.
Yeah.
So,
and to be fair, we're all parents up here, but we were not. There were some judges who were not parents, so it wasn't just about cute kids. It was about the fact that this was like a pretty good rendition of 1999 that took the prize.
But really cute kids.
No,
Really
I mean,
cute kids.
I'm kind of curmudgeonly at this point. I'm not swayed by cute kids. Sorry, you can have them.
So Megan Harvey is going to win one ticket to all 4 nights of Vegas. So let's give her a round of applause.
Yay. Good for Megan. I don't know how she's going to get those kids in there.
It turns out that if you use your kids as props, you can really get ahead in life, and I need to do that more.
Joke's on her. She's going to have to pay a babysitter.
I think she wants to bring her 2 sons to the shows, which is
They all have to sit in one seat each night. It's one seat per.
I don't think I'll be in their section.
Yeah, MGM's a little tight.
So guys, thank you for coming here. I think we were going to have another guest, our friend Ryan, but I don't think he's here.
Did Ryan make it here?
Ryan, if you're here, raise your hand. And if your name is Ryan, you can raise your hand.
He's in his defense, he's got like the best possible excuse for not being here.
Yeah, I hope we can share that with you guys in the future. So
it's a really good excuse.
We forgive him.
So we will. He might be tied up doing things about fish. So let's end with a little bit of conversation about 2018. I asked Malcolm, love to get your take, Jonathan and Matt, on what is 2018 so far, and what will it turn out to be?
I think there were a lot of mixed feelings about the summer, between the musical aspect of it on the beginning of the tour, and then what happened with Curveball, of course. And it feels like since Dick's, we were having some awesome makeup sex right now. I mean, I remember the first night at Dick's, they came on stage, and it seemed like they were a band that was just determined to rock our socks off. Felt like that last night, and hopefully that continues tonight. So I think they want to make it up to us. They want to show us that they're still our band and that they're here for us. So I'm looking forward to great things. I'm really excited for tonight, tomorrow, and for what we're going to see in Vegas. So Jonathan, how about you?
Last night was my first show of 2018. It was. It's been a really long year. I was going to the thing in New York and didn't make it. So I was so ready for a show last night that I don't think I'm any way at this moment objective about where Fish is in 2018. I know where Fish was last night, and that's where I want to be.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
fair.
really excited for tonight and tomorrow and the rest of this tour, Halloween, all of it. New Year's, I'll see you in MSG. It's going to be rad, right? That's how I feel.
I think so. I think MSG will be awesome. Hampton's awesome. I really love the fact that they're doing these multi-night runs because I think that gives them time to get acclimated. And I mean, they didn't need a lot of time yesterday, but there was a day off before, right? So they're not rushing from venue to venue, long time on planes and tour buses too, which I think helps.
Yep.
So speaking of 2018, people probably can't see. I have a vote pin, which is with a little steely in the O. I got it from Bob Crawford, who's the bass player for the Avett Brothers, who does a podcast on the Osiris Network about history. I don't really care who you vote for. I mean, I do, but I'm going to say that I don't because that's the right thing to do. Everyone should just vote because when you said 2018's been a long year, it's been a long several years. And I just, it's our duty. We have to do it. So get out there and vote in November. We're like 2.5 weeks away from a crazy election.
Yes, I'll second that. Just go vote. You should always do it. Like, it affects all kinds of things, like, the lunches at your schools and all the little things that you don't even think of. Those are also on those ballots. You should show up.
And
some of us have kids, so they care about the schools.
Yeah, man. I mean, save the whales. Oh, I vote.
No.
Vote,
Nuke
vote,
the whales.
Vote.
If you don't vote, Fish won't probably play a summer tour next year. So I think Ryan is tied up. We've taken enough of your time. We really appreciate you guys coming out here. I just want to say a few things. Number one, please tip your bartenders and servers. Give them lots of your money because we're all on vacation here, sort of. I mean, we're standing up here, but you guys are on vacation.
Thanks again to Vanguard.
Yeah.
This place
Thank
is
you,
great.
Vanguard. Thanks, Jeremy, for setting us up. Thanks to Scott Reese, who's doing the video, and Relix, our partner in all of this, and our producer, Jonathan Healy, for helping us get this out to you who can't be with us. And those of you who are not with us in Hampton, I will speak for everyone in saying that we are incredibly sad to not have you here.
Well, I mean, we're sympathetic to your plight, but
Sad might be a little bit overboard. I'm not sad.
Come find us afterwards. We've got stickers, lots of swag. Come say hi, talk about the shows and whatnot.
Yep.
Thank you all.
And we do want to show you those Halloween videos. The last thing I'll say is there's a ton of really awesome art up around here. So if you haven't been on, there's art on the second floor and the first floor. And I know that you all showed up for the art, not for us, but thank you for showing up for us a little bit. And so thanks. Have a great rest of the day and have a great couple more shows at Hampton. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.